Jennifer, what was it that made you want to get involved in this kind of effort with its scope across the country?
Well, I think individual Canadian lawyers were actually quick to respond. They have been in airports sort of on their own volition, trying to help out over the past week. They've been offering information to travelers, and they've also been trying to help travelers who might be turned back by the bans in the United States. We really became involved as a coalition of organizations, trying to put a little more structure around those efforts, trying to get more lawyers to come out and join us, and really make sure that we're staffed in major airports across the country at this particular moment. Because, of course, there is a lifting of those bans, and we know that this may be a very precious moment for people who want to get back to the United States, have valid travel documents to actually use them, and we want to be there to help inform and support them in whatever ways we can.
So give me a scenario that a lawyer might face as a volunteer at one of the, airports across the country.
Well, we're helping in a couple of different ways. The first is we're very proactively working with gate agents and ticketing agents at the airport to make sure they understand the new legal circumstances. It's, as you know, constantly changing. It is quite confusing. So we're doing a lot of proactive outreach with various actors in the system on the front lines to make sure that we try to prevent problems before they occur. We're also making ourselves visible to travelers. So travelers who might want someone to come with them to the ticketing agent, travelers that might have questions about their status. We want them to know that they are supported, that they can have confidence. Someone will be there to help them through this process and answer any questions that they have. And the third thing is, in the event that there are challenges, if somebody is being refused boarding, if there are concerns about the status, we are working in conjunction with our American colleagues to document all of those cases and make sure that they're used as evidence as part of the ongoing litigation in the United States.
And Jennifer, tell me, have there been any cases, have you heard from any of the lawyers across the country where, somebody has been refused access to get on an aircraft or whatever, but they've been wrong, and so with help from one of your lawyers, that family, that couple, whatever it may be, have been able to get on the plane?
Well, we certainly know that there were instances in the early days of the temporary restraining order, and that is the legal instrument in the United States that changed the circumstances late on Friday evening, that there was a lot of confusion in the airports. So eventually we were part of that response, and we certainly did feel that our presence was helpful to travelers in trying to get information and navigate that. We've also, as I said, been working very proactively with the airlines and trying to make sure they have the right information on the front lines as they try to navigate the confusion and the ongoing circumstances. So we do feel that our presence is making a difference. I do want to let your viewers know, however, that right now our lawyers across the country are reporting people are boarding quite well, quite successfully. If you are someone who's at home with a valid U.S. visa and you think you might like to travel, this is a good day to do it. We don't know what the legal environment will look like tomorrow.
Yeah, no kidding. And I bet you're watching to see what happens in the U.S. What more do you think Canada can do in the interim?
Well, I think right now it really is for our teams really trying to give current information. So we are doing, in addition to our work in the airport, we are trying to make sure through media, but also through direct outreach, that people know this opportunity is available for travel. If the circumstances change overnight, which we think that they might, there is ongoing litigation in the United States, we'll certainly do everything we can to be part of the outreach so travelers here have current information as they consider their next steps.
Very emotional time, isn't it, for travelers who are unsure?
That's right, and I think, these are very personal decisions. We respect the fact that some people might not feel comfortable traveling despite the status of their documents. In other circumstances, families have been torn apart and there's a desperation to get back home. So we really see our view as trying to support and really be a service to people who may choose to try to get to airports today.